Good morning and welcome back to our 6th episode of So Spiritual. My name is Bryndis and I'm your energy healer and energy coach, explaining some of these spiritual aspects of today. It is Christmas Day here in the United States. Whether or not you're celebrating Christmas, you're probably going to feel this. The shops are closed and people are trying to rush to their families or are just done with being with their families. So there's a lot of connection in the air. There's a lot of stuff going on Facebook and social media. People sharing pictures, people sharing those moments of being with their family. And this can cause us those of us who are not with our family for whatever reason, or not with our loved ones, to feel a little heavy, to feel a little deep in our sort of own psyche. And I want to address this today. So I felt out the energies this morning and felt that there was a mixture of anger, fear, but especially loneliness. So like a heaviness that is connected with loneliness. And I would love to hear from you guys how you are perceiving today, whether you are celebrating Christmas or not, no matter where you are. Let us know what country you are watching from right now, and let us know how you're feeling. Where are you guys from? Let everybody know. Okay, we're doing this live here so that we can be there for another. So that's the beautiful part, where you can support each other. So physically, it feels a little heavy this morning. You may feel a little bit stuff going on here in your sinuses, feeling a bit stuffed up, maybe still feeling like getting sick, but not in a subdued way as we had this in the past couple of days. It's more like, things are coming out, things are coming forward. You may also feel still a little headache. This is part of the general collective situation right now, where your 5th and 6th chakra, so your ability to express and see truth, is being activated. So your higher perception is on. And I've mentioned this before, that when we don't really do this as a regular say maintenance, where we go within and maybe meditate before we start the day, then it's often difficult to pick up on this. So professional energy healers or energy workers, they do this. They feel into the energies of the day and contextualize them. But if we don't have those tools, if we don't have the training to contextualize what we're experiencing, then we're often left alone with these perceptions or sensations. Another thing that a lot of people have reported this morning is things with the heart palpitations, increased heart rate, a difficulty sleeping. Did you guys experience anything like this? Yes, and I'm seeing Florida, I'm seeing Chicago, I'm seeing Schaumburg, I'm seeing, yes, more countries, more cities joining here. Yes, it's quiet. That's at least when you live in a country that is aligned to Christianity. A lot of that has to do with the stores closed, especially in Europe. This is the time where literally everything shuts down. So yes, and that can bring in a calm for us, that can bring in sort of a little these last days were so stressful for most people, and for retail, and for the stock market, and for the government, and for many different aspects of our lives, that on this day, on the 25th, and in some countries also on the 26th, when all that comes to a halt, it allows us to see truth a little more clearly. Okay, so we become able to see through all this distraction all of a sudden. Did any one of you had these sensations in the heart these last couple of days, or trouble sleeping? Trouble sleeping is probably the most common complaint that I've heard from other empaths and energetically sensitives. Yes, trouble sleeping. Yes. Hi, Syria. See you in Belgium. Yeah, so trouble sleeping has, obviously, can have something to do with us thinking too much and being caught in our sort of mentalness and our thinkingness, okay? But it can also have energetic reasons, and that is that, we can be, pulled into sort of lots of etheric activity that we are not aware of with our brain, okay? So there is a lot going on right now etherically, and that's why we feel this layer here around our forehead, around our eyes, and that's why it's difficult to sleep, because your energy body is really, really active right now. So whether you are aware of it or not. Yes, Denise, and these sensations of emptiness, okay? So when the heart comes into the play, and we've talked about wanting to expand, wanting to open up, this is something that whether or not we have that conscious intention, that's what we all want. And especially in times like this, where it's a general consensus, that we need to take care of another, we need to connect. And when there are blockages there in our energy, then it's a bit difficult for us. And, when I say blockages, it sounds like there's something wrong with us. It's not necessarily the case. Some of that has to do with the overall collective experience, the overall collective karma that we go through as humans. But some of it also has to do with our family constellations, with some of the relationship issues that we have. And guys, one of the problems in times where our perception is heightened is that we begin to see this more clearly. And the emptiness then comes out of this inner fragmentation, what we want, what we truly desire from our heart, and what we experience doesn't match up, okay? And so we get caught in our psyche. And when I say psyche, I don't necessarily mean psychic. I don't necessarily just mean our thoughts. It's this conflict between our mind and our feelings, our emotions. And so the only way to bring this together and to really, sort of be in the present moment without feeling, left out or lonely or empty, is to see that we really want to join our heart with our mind. So the theme here on an energetic level is to really learn how to go into this heart mind, okay? And this is a tip here as an energy healer for you. If you are feeling lonely right now and you don't know how to handle this without, like, say, blaming yourself or blaming others or going into this deeper, reflective, almost depressive mode, okay, then do this. First of all, of course, and I say this every episode, focus on your heart, focus on your breathing. This helps you to bring your center back into your awareness. Ground yourself. We've learned this when we talked about how to clear your energy. Like, let these things come out, okay? And if you have a stuffed nose right now, then, let this come out. Use mint oil or something, or eucalyptus, to open up your pathways up here and to let all this come out. Also, very, very important, when you get stuck in this deep, heavy emotional place, drink lots of water, okay? Because this increases the viscosity, the fluidity of your energy, and lets things come out faster, okay? So when you feel the onset of this heavy, deep, lonely place, you want to catch this as fast as you can, because the longer you stay in this place, okay, the more likely you're going to resort to your coping mechanisms, you know, that be either numbing yourself or trying to distract yourself or trying to get stimulated through something. Or, and this is unfortunately, it was so true for many for us, you know, we go into wallowing in our pain as a subconscious way of feeling alive. So if you catch yourself binge watching sad movies or listening to sad music, you need to stop this, guys. All right, it's okay to let this out in like acknowledging your emotions, but you can't wallow in it, because the longer you stay in it, the more likely you're going to go back into your old patterns. And we talked a little bit about manifestation yesterday when we talked about money and all this. You've got to understand that there is a connection. So it's one thing to go into a deeper reflective state with our emotions. It's another thing to acknowledge how you're feeling and then to clear out the things that are excessive, all right? And then you can realign yourself. Then you can start thinking about, what can I do to make myself feel better right now? And this is a reflective state that, you know, can feel a little heavy, but can be turned into a really beautiful experience where you can actively shift your energy. Okay, and this actively shifting your energy, this is something I really want you to take to your heart today. You know, it means that you go into this connection with your heart and your mind, okay? Your fusioned heart-mind. And you really ask yourself, okay, what is it that I truly need or truly want right now and that I am not getting? And where am I looking for this? Am I looking for this through others or through, you know, validation, maybe from social media, or through, you know, recognition for my gifts that I made? You know, it's like you need to look at what your ego does in order to know what to do to make you feel better. So what does your ego do when you go into this reflective state? And I want to add one more thing. You know, if you are younger, you're probably not even used to going into the self-reflective mode, and it may feel like a depression or an anxiety. My tip for you is to actually practice that. You know, it used to be that we as in, like, you know, humans, you know, we had much harsher lives, say, like up until 50 years ago. You know, our parents, grandparents had to, you know, they had to do much more to survive, but they all had a time where they would just sit and just be, you know, whether it's like sitting on the swing in the front porch, or you know, sitting in the grass, or you know, reading something, or allowing themselves to just be with themselves. And that allows a person to really tune in to their heart mind, okay? And in our lives, where everything is so fast and where we get this sort of illusionary connection through our phones and social media and everything, we're not really used to being in a state anymore. And so for you guys, if you are from the younger generation, don't be afraid of going there. This doesn't mean that you are depressed or that you are suffering from anxiety. It means that you are sitting in your feelings, in your emotions, in your sensations, and make this a conscious practice, because then you can get used to yourself and become friends, you know, become one with your true self. So the reason why we feel empty, guys, is because we are producing something to the outside world, like what we call a false self. And that's not necessarily bad or evil or malintent. We're producing a version of ourselves, you know, that constantly needs this recognition, that constantly needs that approval, or you know, even if it's negative attention from others. And this is what makes you feel empty when things slow down, because you're not getting this then at that moment, and then you feel like you don't exist. So familiarizing yourself with your true self and really going into this place with yourself where you enjoy your own company can help you, to not be afraid of this contemplative, reflective, deeper inner state. Yes, and you guys are commenting like crazy. So let me formulate a question here for you. What have you observed, what your ego does when you go into this onset of heaviness, this onset of loneliness? What is your to-go place? Healthy or not? Most of our to-go places, our coping mechanisms, that's what they are not really healthy, but we're not aware of this. I would love to know from you what you do, and then I would love to know from you how you, counteract this, what has helped you to get out, what helps you out of this heavy, deep, and lonely place. Yes, Justin, you got all the symptoms. Yes, stretching, like I mentioned yesterday, can really help. Fresh air. Yes, and it's okay to have a moaning moment. I did too this morning. I got angry. I got afraid. I got like whiny, for a second. And then I was like, okay, do I want to stay here or do I want to do something about it? Because I could feel how my energy was starting to project it onto my family, and like, because of you and because of you and because of you, right? And after all I did for you, cooking and baking and gifts and all, right? And then I recognized, okay, there is something here my ego wants that it's not getting, and it's my job to give this to myself instead of making others responsible. So that's my coping mechanism. I feel like a victim. Yes, Merry Christmas to you guys as well. Going outside. Yes, Svetlana, that's a really great idea, especially when you are in the midst of family gatherings, and when you can feel that things are getting like molasses, when things are getting kind of, then go outside. Take a walk. If you guys have dogs, say, I need to go outside and take the dog on a walk. That's how I've done it all my life, taking the dog outside on a walk. Music, dancing, yes, this can help. Or playing a mantra, yes, this can help. There are some good movies that can help us, yes, Denise. But yes, so you've recognized that numbing yourself with watching movies is one of your to-go places, yeah. But this doesn't really connect you with yourself, This is the problem with these things that we do, whether it's drinking alcohol or, numbing ourselves with medication, or smoking pot, or watching videos, or coma playing. It's an illusion of inner connection. It leaves us empty, guys. So you've got to understand what your ego tries to do there. It tries to connect. Yes, and the best way to overcome this heavy, lonely feeling within, guys, is to actually go and connect. And you start with yourself. Now, if you are already really low, if you're already feeling depressed, then you probably can't pull yourself out of it. You need the help of others. You need the energy around you that helps you to connect. So sometimes it's just one phone call. Sometimes it's reaching out to another person. There's an energetic reason for that, because if your energy is below a certain state, you can't get yourself into that connection with yourself anymore. So you need, an outer energy field that can do this for you. So call somebody, or, go to maybe Starbucks or, a coffee shop. Just seeing other people can help. Isolating is probably the worst we can do. Now, I get this. I have this too. Sometimes we want to cave in a little bit. But when you're already in this heavy, deep inner place, you can't isolate. That's like oil on your fire. It's going to make it worse. Yes, there are some things that you can do for yourself, but if you feel like you get caught too deep into that heavy, depressed or anxious or lonely place, you need to go out. You need to move your body literally. So, going out on a walk can already help. Many also, you can feel the onset of depression or anxiety through, sort of not doing what needs to be done, like the most fundamental self-care things. If you know that you need, if you're not taking a shower, or if you're not, getting dressed, if you're not feeding your cats or something like that, that's a sign, that your energy is too low right now to even wanting to do something good for yourself. So self-care, fundamental, basic self-care, can help you, to actively shift out of this energy and start small. If you're a guy, give yourself a shave, freshen yourself up, take a shower. If you're a girl as well, but you don't need to take a shave. But sometimes shaving your legs can help too. Put on some makeup, put on some nice clothes. Increase the energy of your, feeling with yourself. Okay, and then take care of your dependents, take care of your pets or your kids, or something that you can do to increase this energy around you. Okay, tiny little things. I go baking, I go cooking, I go doing things for my family, or sometimes I just sit down and brush my dog, and allow all this, to up my energy. And then once I've reached a certain threshold again, then it becomes easier again. All right, then I want to talk, then I want to connect again, then I can connect again. Yes, so I can see that you guys are all dealing with this. Yes, family. Yeah. If you have kids around you, like nieces or nephews, Justin, like you do, and if they're younger, this is actually great, because kids have this, especially around Christmas time, they have this excitement, they have this raw life force going through them, right? Connect with your kids, or with these kids, or even neighbor kids. Go be goofy with them, really go into this like silly place with them, that can up your energy right away. Yes, the grumpy mood. Yes, catch that grumpy mood. Don't let that get to you. Don't let that weigh you down, because what's going to happen is that you're then going to start feeling somehow guilty or somehow bad about being grumpy. All right, so there's a cascade that comes, like a downward spiral, if we allow these low places. Yes, so you guys all have really good ideas. Thank you for sharing. I need to go in there and unpack gifts with my kids now, but I want you to continue sharing here. Please share what works for you if you go into this lonely place. And you may also send out messages to others. Yes, Christmas comes alive with small children. Any kind of festive or ceremonial, traditional setting becomes more alive with children. Yes, but singing and music and all this helps connect. Once more here, a quick shout out for those of you in Florida. Roger is facilitating a sacred self-healing circle from 2 to 4 p.m. this afternoon Eastern Time in St. Petersburg at the Meta Center there. So if you're feeling lonely, this is the place where you can connect with people who are aware of all these things and who want to just share. You don't need to know each other. It's not important. So many times I've gone to like just places, like coffee houses to see other people. I don't need to talk to anybody. I just need to get myself out of that molasses place. Yes, guys. Okay, so keep sharing, keep connecting with others here. And I'm wishing you guys wonderful traditions, wonderful contemplations for today. I hope to see you tomorrow again. Please share those videos, yes, and like them and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because there I post the edited versions. So if you like this format here of talking about the energies of the day and certain subjects of the day, then go back to the previous episodes. They're all wonderful. You guys have been so great here as audience. Yes, don't get caught in the holiday stress. All right, do something that can actively shift your energy out of there. Thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.